Anytime you open an image in Adobe Photoshop, you have the ability to either read or enter information about that photo that will be carried with it. So if we go up to the word File on the pull-down menu and go down to File Info, now you've got a lot of stuff up here, a lot of information. We'll just kind of cover it, give you an idea what's here. For example, description. You could put in the document title, the author. I've done this before, so watch what happens when I begin typing my name. It assumes that I might want to use that one, and I do. It saves you time. Title, if you've ever done one, it will assume maybe you want to use this one. So once you've done it once, obviously it kind of helps you out. It kind of anticipates things for you, makes the job a little bit easier, I suppose. My ratings are always 5-star on my photographs. Description, information, basic stuff. IPTC, right here, stands for, you're going to love this, International Press Telecommunications Council Core Scheme of Properties. That's a mouthful. What is it? It's standardized information here and in here that is used by, well, like Associated Press. I shoot for AP. It's not really that big of a deal. But if I'm going to put something out on the web, like some really cool photograph, I need the codes. And here are some of them, just as an example. I could use an A, an S, an I, an F, or a V. A stands for news or features. S stands for sports. I for international. F for financial. V for advisory. You could do subcodes like ADV for advanced. OBIT is for obituary. Oh, you get it. NAT for National Geographic Weekly Package. This information needs to be there so when they get the image, they know exactly what's there. Camera data is supplied by the camera. So you don't add anything here, it just tells you what it is. If your camera supports GPS, that data would be here. Now think about it this way. Here's another reason to use GPS. You've got it built into your camera, or you've bought the adapter that allows you to do it. So that information is already there, just like camera data. So you've got latitude and longitude and all that stuff. That's provenance on the photo. That's proof that the photo was taken where it is. And in this world of Photoshop, that's not a bad thing. If it were a video, or an audio, or mobile SWF or flash, well, you could add information here too. You have categories right here. Origin, and that would be the origin of the image. DICOM is actually medical documents like x-rays. And most hospitals in that have gone digital. They don't use film very often. So this is information, obviously I don't use that very much, but it is there to go along with the x-ray. History is a wonderful thing. And we're going to talk about history later. But Photoshop allows you to save everything that you've done to an image. And if we had history turned on, it would list anything that I had done to this image in terms of modification, whatever. You've got advanced features here. Now this is called a property tree. All it really is all the stuff we've already talked about. But it's here instead of in each one of those tabs. And then finally, raw, right here, the raw data. This is the XMP code that drives what we just put in. That's all that is. So all of this information, or as much as you want, can be added to an image and carried along with it. Now let's go ahead and click OK. Let's go to another image real quick here. I want to do the same thing here. But there are a lot of features that are repetitive. I mean, you saw it, put in my name. Well, I don't want to type it in at all. So check this out. Let's go back to File Info. Let's go back to Description. There's nothing there. But I've already made something. If I go into my preferences right here, you will notice I have generic and initial XMP. What I did was I typed in everything in one of these that I knew would almost always be in every one I use, like my name, my address, all that kind of stuff. And I named it initial XMP. And if I select that, watch what happens. It's going to ask me to clear it, keep it, or keep original but append, and that's what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. As you can see, it added a lot of the fields that I always do the same thing with. If I come over here, it's even got my name, my job, my city, my state, my email address, my websites. Those things don't change very often. Again, remember how I did this. I typed it in. Then I went here and I said export it. I gave it a name that made sense to me and click Save. The next time I need it, it's right in this list right down here. And that can save you a little bit of time. Now let me end up by saying one thing here. When you're adding data to an image. You're dealing with one image at a time. A more logical approach to adding this type of information would be in one of two other applications. One would be Bridge, because I can select more than one image at a time and add multiples of this and save myself a whole lot of time. Or Lightroom, which is another really cool program. But if you want the information, you want to read it, or you want it applied to the image, that's all you have to do. On to the next.